Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Seeds are planted every day. Water, let them cultivate. Gotta lay the groundwork. Put in work and watch it grow. Enjoy your fruit and overflow. Gotta lay the groundwork.
Hello. Listen, I know that many of you probably are at work. You're still chilling. Maybe you are, driving, whatever. I'm keeping this live up so that you can come back to this at a certain point when you are able to sit down, honey. So pull up a seat if you can. Put me in your AirPod, whatever. We're going to chill out for a little bit and we're going to have a conversation on a very important subject. So please share this live, share it on your platforms. It will help to get the word out. As you can see, I'm wearing my Mental Health Matters t-shirt. So we're going to talk about it today. I had a podcast, have so many different ideas, y'all. I think I want to do everything in my lifetime, right? But now I'm learning to allow things to happen organically. So groundwork is something that I've had as a baby of mine since 2022. I am going to be coming back, but when I go live and I talk about certain things, I'm definitely going to be talking about groundwork more and more, and we will be premiering that at a soon date. So you'll be able to come in at a specific day and time so that we can, chill out, keep, drink our water and mind our business. So with that being said, I am going to be on for a bit. And like I said, this particular subject matter is something that is of great importance for me. And I have talked to a lot of people, and it's been a situation that they've been dealing with as well. So I'm going to get right into it. The subject matter that I'm talking about, and I'm going to go to my comments so I can see them. Feel free to comment. Feel free to say, if you have comments or questions or anything, you can definitely chime in. Now, let me start off by saying disclaimer. I am not a mental health professional yet. Keyword on the yet. But I can talk to you about some things that have worked for me, things that have helped me, and just have a real conversation. You know what I mean? I ain't on here to preach and make y'all believe anything. I can only talk about my situation. And if it resonates with you, it does. If it doesn't, well, hey, take what resonates and leave the rest. So, y'all, let's get right into it. I would say since 2022, life has been a whirlwind. It was already crazy a little bit, but y'all, in 2022, as many of you all know, I received a grant. I opened up another business. I also met my husband. He proposed. My whole life switched around. All of these things. I had touched more money at one time than I had ever touched before. All of these things came all at once, okay? And for some of you who don't know, I am neurodivergent, and I wear that proudly. I have ADD in real life. I was diagnosed with that at 35, but I didn't realize how much it affected me until now. So anywho, 2022 life was just boom, bam, boom. And for the outside looking in, yes, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Blessings on blessings on blessings. Great, all the things I had prayed for, all of that, cool. But it also was a lot. A lot. You know how they say new level, new devil. I had experienced things that I had never, and I do mean never experienced before. Situations, people changing, my dynamic. I am a person that loves stability. I like you being who you say you're gonna be, this gonna be this, and this gonna be that. And when your life is transitioning so rapidly, you're not in control. You could try to control as much as you can, but it's just not like that. So y'all, got a little hat. So I say about 3 months last year, about October, I crashed. I crashed mentally. I crashed physically. I was in the hospital for physical issues. I experienced total and complete burnout. I've been burnt out before, right? Usually when I get some type of burnout, it's like one of those things where, okay, you take a little weekend off, you chill a little bit, spend time with your husband, you know what I mean? You're just, regular stuff. But this one I wasn't able to shake. And I couldn't really understand what was going on. I just knew that I didn't like doing things that I normally would like to do. I knew that I didn't want to do it anymore, like literally throw everything away. If it wasn't about my husband or my children, I really didn't care. And I was extremely low. There were days that I could not get out of bed. There were days that I heck, I still got my phone on do not disturb. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't even be trying to answer it. There were days that I was invited to things and I just simply did not want to go. And when I did go out in public, I masked it. I masked it very well. Here's the thing, I'm on a weight loss journey. The gym definitely, and I'll get into that, definitely was one of my saving graces, because it just allowed me to release a lot of steam. And that was like the one thing that I had. But truly, I was dying on the inside. And then physically, I was sick. Like, no energy. Like I had to go into the hospital and get not one, but two blood transfusions because my hemoglobin was dangerously low, like low. My anemia was out of control. Everything was out of whack, right? I was experiencing burnout for real. And I thought I was depressed. Which I'm sure that definitely was something that I was experiencing as well. I'm never gonna discount that. I am getting ready to start therapy next week. I'm excited about that. I had therapy before, but I'm getting back to start it. So I don't know what they may tell me when I go in there. What I can tell you is I'm feeling a whole lot better, right? But I had to come to grip with some things. I had to change my mindset on some things, and I had to reevaluate. And so what I want to do today, I'm doing this challenge, and it's so interesting because a part of it is like not being on social media. But what I notice is that the more that I get back to myself, the more that I realize that I love social media. I just love it when it's healthy. So I get on here, I say what I have to say, I engage with people, I focus on positive things, and then I go home. What I realize is that social media can be a very effective tool, especially when it comes to educating. And especially for those of us, especially in the Black community, we don't talk about mental health enough, and how it affects us. So this live I feel will be great for anyone, especially those who are experiencing burnout in some way. So let's talk about it. Not wanting to get up other than to wash my tail, say hi to my children, cook. My husband, let's talk about that man real quick. Boy, if God sent me an angel from the heaven, honey, because I told him, I said, I don't feel good. I'm not good. And he was like, well, do you want to go to the hospital? I said, I don't want them locking me up in no room. And then I'm over here worried about the business. And what about the business? And what about this? And what about that? And not really focusing on myself. So my husband gave me grace to navigate this, which I'm very grateful for. But y'all, it was so bad that an ambulance had to come pick me up because that's how sick I was. So anywho, let's see, where do I begin? I want to first of all say that if you are experiencing burnout or you're tired, you're okay. It's okay. I want you to know that it is okay to not be okay. Because we are taught, especially Black women, let me talk to my sisters, we're taught to be strong, to keep it going, that we don't look like what we're going through, that we handle our business, suck it up, buttercup. Like we're taught not to deal with issues for real. We're taught if we are dealing with something that we don't let nobody know what we're dealing with. Right? Yes, exactly. This too shall pass. I'm getting so tired of hearing all that. You know what I mean? You're fine. You're gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. Don't keep people at your business. You don't want to appear weak. All of those things, right? And so, sorry, I gotta stand go. I'm gonna have to stand up in a minute. But anyway, I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay not to want to get up. It's okay to be completely and utterly done. It's it's okay. It's okay not to want to do people. It's okay to not want to do anything. You are tired, sis. You're exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. You're spent. And here's the thing, what's amazing is that even God rested on the seventh day. But somehow or another, we think we above God and that we just never supposed to lay down. That's me. People used to say all the time, Tony, how do you do it? How do you do it? You just do so much. And I used to wear that as a badge of honor, not realizing, fool, you finna kill yourself. You ain't even yourself. Girl, if anybody knows me for real, they know I'm fun loving, happy go lucky, laughing all the time, always got a joke, super positive person. I found myself becoming cynical. I found myself complaining. I found myself getting upset with people. I found myself doing all these things. I'm like, that ain't even really me. What is happening here? You know what I mean? And so, y'all, I was a little ashy on the live. I had to get that together real quick. So, anywho, as I continue on, we established that I was burnout, and we established that it's okay to be burnout too, right? So now let's get to the good news. You're right, Ms. Deborah. It can happen to anyone. Even Jesus rested. It is okay. That's right. You have to allow yourself time to regenerate. So y'all, bear with me. Y'all, look, I got two little ponytails. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I cut all my hair off. It's growing. Look. Ooh. Oh, I don't know. I'm debating if I want to cut it all off again because it's decided that it wants to grow. We're gonna see anyway. But so y'all don't mind my long ponytail right here. Oh, get into it. All right. So I'm gonna be looking at my other laptop here, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about a few things. So here are some things. Let me see, how many of them do I have? 5 that I know will help you. Okay. Because they help me. Number 1, you have to prioritize self-care. Okay. And that's broken down into categories. Remember how I told you? And it's so funny because Ms. Deborah just put up a comment that goes right into what I'm about to say. So I'm going to put her comment up. She says, know when to take a break. If not, your body will do it for you. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then tend to others. Period. She said it. She said it. So there are 4 ways in which doing self-care that you could take care of yourself. And it's so funny because another one of my friends, Shania, oh my gosh, she's so dope. Shania Lambert. She's an attorney here in Central Texas. She spoke as well. And it was so funny because I'm on the same wavelength. I'm like, see, I know I'm in the right room. She talked about this at the Take the Lead event. But I'm going to talk to you guys about it, how it helped me, my own self. So number 1, physical. So now, y'all, I was in the gym, right? But I had gotten to a plateau. I wasn't gaining weight, but I wasn't losing weight, right? And so I was making time to exercise, but I wasn't eating right. I wasn't taking my supplements, and I for dang sure wasn't getting no sleep. I mean, sleeping 3 or 4 hours a night ain't no sleep. And for women, studies show that we need more sleep than men do. So it's imperative that we try and get those 8 hours a night, right? So when my body physically shut down, I was literally going to the gym on E. And my body was fighting against me because it's like, hell, you finna kill us. You up here working out and we ain't got no food. We finna hold on to everything we got for dear life because you're trying to kill us, right? And so you have to eat well. And I'm not talking about eating in quantity, eating junk in quantity. I'm talking about eating well. Fruits, vegetables. Do research on things. If you know you have issues with your blood, like for me, I'm anemic. I have to eat iron-rich foods, right? I have to eat things, and I have to make sure I get an adequate amount of vitamin C so that I can absorb it, right? Water. Oh, me and water, I be trying so hard. Ooh, I'm pray for me. Okay, I try to get it down. My husband knows he's a water fanatic. He should have been a fish. Meanwhile, I be trying to drink as much as I can, but you got to get that water in. Did you know water helps to replenish your blood cells? Some of us that are anemic, we're dehydrated. Okay. And let's talk about anemia because a lot of people suffer with it. Anemia is caused from a lot of things. And sometimes there are underlying issues like fibroids or other female issues that we deal with. And anemia can and will kill you. All right. It causes heart attacks. It causes strokes. It causes a lot of things. So let's talk about that. Physical and sleeping. Your body, when you rest, think about it. When you go to the hospital, what's the first thing that they tell you to do? When a person is in the hospital, they want them to rest. They have visiting hours because they don't want people disturbing their rest. You have to rest. You got to get enough sleep. You got to get your mind to rest as well, right? Meditation, prayer, those things, okay? Which this goes to my next part, mental. Practice mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing. I found that when I get up in the morning and I breathe and I just sit down, I don't know all the little, I just know how to be quiet, clear my mind, and just breathe and then pray. You got to practice gratitude because if you're not grateful for what you have, right, you'll always find a reason to complain. Oh man, I got to pay these bills. Well, you got a place to stay. You got a car to drive. You got food to eat. You got all of these amenities. Yes, you're going to pay for them, but it's a blessing that you are even able to do that. You see what I'm saying? You have to switch your stinking thinking, and you really have to take a moment and say, you know what? I'm grateful, right? And then when you find yourself being grateful, you find yourself taking care of the things that you have yourself being, and then you end up getting blessed with more. But we'll talk about that. Emotional. Connecting with loved ones, seeking support from friends or family, and even therapy. Very important. But I'm going to talk about that family and friends thing here in a little bit because sometimes it's necessary to cut things off too. I ain't going to hold you. So I'm just going to tell you the truth, okay? Now, what also is very important is a spiritual life. Now, I'm not here to tell you who to what to believe in, but I know one thing. Once me and God got back where we needed to be, and I started to talk to him and asking him to order my steps and praying more and practicing faith more, having faith over fear, because fear will have you somewhere in a corner, don't know which way to go, what step to take, what go to back, this way, that way. But when you operate in a spirit of faith, right? That faith without works is dead. That God, I'm just asking you to order my steps, that your will, my will be done. There's a peace that comes over you because now you're not so concerned with trying to figure it all out. You know that there's something bigger than you out here that's helping to orchestrate this. And so, God, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you handle this because you know better than me. You know way better than me. And for me being a control freak, I bet God be laughing sometimes. He probably used to laugh at me when I'd be like, well, I'm going to try this and I'm going to do this. And y'all, I be having so many ideas and then I be executing them and then I get bored. Now I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to focus on? Because I got so many things I want to do. Okay. So physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self-care. Learning how to be alone and getting back in tune with yourself is very important as well, because if you always have outside influences pouring into you, you won't have a sense of self and you won't have a baseline. So you've got to get in tune with you. Okay. Now, number 2, setting boundaries. Oh my God. Woo! That is probably one of the most difficult things that I am still managing and learning. Setting boundaries, I could do a whole live on that by itself. But I won't. Excuse me. I will say this. Setting boundaries is extremely important. And it's a lot. You have to set boundaries with yourself first. I'm talking about for a long time, I had no work-life balance. I didn't know when work began and when it ended and when it came into my life. And I had to have someone to help me to get started on that. Shout out to Tiffany Daniel because she helped me with that. And so that was the beginning. But when that happened, my world caved in on me because I realized just how much I had been doing and wasn't productive. And it put me in I was feeling away. I ain't gonna hold you. And then I was just kind of like, I ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? Figuring it all out. But what I will say is work-life balance is very important. And it's not taught here in America. You go over to Europe, baby, they take holidays. They be taking breaks during the day and the whole city shut down. Okay. They chill. Okay. We be the ones that be want to work 24/8, 25/8, like they say. No, you have to know when there's a time to sow, there's a time to reap. You see what I'm saying? Like that's biblical. You have to know when to rest. You got to know when to separate the two. Learning to say no, declining extra commitments when you're already overloaded. That's when I had a lot of problems with because people would love to pull on me. Oh, we want you on this board. We love for you to be a part of this thing. Can you help us with this? Can you help us with that? And because I love people and I love my community, I would be like, yeah, okay. Period, Julia. She said, amen. I live my life like I'm in Europe. That part. Okay. And so learning how to say no to things. And a part of me, when I'm reading this book right now, it's called Set Boundaries, Find Peace. This is a book that I've held on to. Well, not this is the workbook. I'm listening to the book on Audible right now. But this is a book that me and my twin heart, Carlita, she introduced me to this book during the pandemic. And I downloaded it on Audible and I would listen to it and it resonate, but I would just get distracted and go on to something else. But this book, I recommend for you, any of you that are struggle with people pleasing, struggle with saying no, or feeling bad when you have to say no, struggling with all of that. This is a book that I suggest that you read. It's called Set Boundaries, Find Peace, and it's by Nidra Glover Tawwab. I think that's how you say it, Tawwab. Anyway, it's a fantastic book. It's gonna help you, okay? And this, a part of my 75 Soft, I am reading this book and going through the workbook. So this is the workbook, which is good, and then I'm listening to the audiobook at the same time. And then time management. So right now I have a timer on. And I need to go faster because I only have a few more minutes to talk to you guys before I got to go to my next task. But one of the techniques that I like to use, I'm going to get this for y'all. It's called the Pomodoro technique. This helps me with time management. Now I have an actual timer right now going as well. But this thing right here, or a timer, you have to start to work out your time management. And for those of you who are neurodivergent like myself, we have no sense of time. So we could talk all day. We could be around people all day. We could talk for hours, do things for hours, hyper focus on things because we don't understand time. Literally, we don't. That's why y'all just pray for me. I be trying to be on time. I be late because I don't understand time. So I live on timers. So Pomodoro technique is cool. What you do is you get your timer. You can set it for 20 or 30 minutes. And for that time, you are focused on that and that alone. Okay. Then once that timer goes off, you'll give yourself a 5-minute break, but you got to do something different. Whether you take a walk outside, go get a snack, do something else. If you're on your phone, get off your phone, go pick up a book or do something different. And then you come back until you completed that task. It's a really good technique. All right. Identifying and addressing stressors. Baby, learn when it's time to quit. Sometimes we hold on to people, we hold on to situations, we hold on to things because we think it defines who we are, and they are literally stressing you out. There are some things I let go in 2024. Okay. There are some things that I am reevaluating, right? But what are those things that trigger you? So my husband, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but there was a situation that happened with some people, and my husband said, "Baby, I love you. I'm sorry you're going through that, but it's hard for me to empathize with you because you keep putting yourself in that same situation." And baby, that hit me like a ton of bricks. He said, "If you keep putting yourself in the same situation, you cannot get upset with the outcome. You're putting yourself in that triggering situation." And when he said that to me, the light bulb went out because I'm like, dang, he's right. I keep putting myself there. So you got to first identify what's stressing you out. And then you got to pinpoint it. And then you have to find out what's burning me out, what's making me not want to do that. How can I switch that around? Which brings me to my next point, reevaluating your priorities. Well, you know what? Let me go back. Also, problem solving. If you see something that triggers you or it's a stressor and say it's something you got to deal with, like me, I hate doing bills. I'm the type of person, some people like to spend money. I like to hold on to it. So when I see my bank account in a certain amount, but I know I got all these bills to pay and my money ain't going to look the same, that's a stressor. It's a trigger. I don't like it. My husband's the opposite. He's like, let's just pay it all out, boo, boo, boo. I'm not that person. So now I know that the way that I solve that problem is I create a budget that makes sense for me. This time I'm going to pay this, and this. I'm not going to add any more bills because I know that I like my bank account to look a certain type of way. Okay, I like her booty fat. She needs to be thick. You know what I'm saying? My bank account needs to be thick, honey. I don't like her when she's slim and trim. That I can work on being slim and trim, but not the account. The account needs the accounts, they need to be thick, right? So I have to get that budget together. That's a way I problem solve something that stresses me out. Okay. Now, for the last couple of minutes, I want to talk about reevaluating priorities. Now, this is probably one of the most difficult ones, and this is one of the most triggering for burnout. You got to clarify your values. And this is what you have to understand. What you may have wanted 4 years ago may not be what you want today, and that's okay. What was important to you 6 months ago may not be important to you now. And what's important to you now may be something completely new. And if you continue to try to operate in the same way that you were operating in, knowing that this is not really where you want to be, you will find yourself becoming frustrated, overwhelmed, and burnt out because you're spinning the wheels on something that does not speak to you anymore. So what you have to do is you have to get back to the drawing board. Like the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Get back to the drawing board and reassess. Reassess your goals. And ensure that that's okay to have big dreams, right? But you've got to have a plan of action on how to get there. I don't want to be an 8-figure earner. Me too. But how? Because if I just put 8-figure earner and I don't have steps in place and I'm not constantly learning and growing, putting myself in that situation or around people that are there or whatever, it's futile. It's just words. Right? So reassessing your goals. And then lastly, you have to focus on things that mean something to you. Focus on meaningful work. We get burnt out because we're doing stuff that don't really speak to us. And me, I'm a passion person. I have been very fortunate, and I'm very grateful to God to have been able to live my life in a way that I am able to do things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about the arts. I'm passionate about youth. I'm passionate about women empowerment. I'm passionate about those things, right? I'm passionate about mental health, right? So you have to find, if you're finding yourself and you're doing these things that you really that don't mean much to you, or it means something, but it's more like, okay, I want to make money. Okay, cool. We all want to make money. Follow your passion first. Don't chase the dollar. If you do what speaks to you, the money will come. And you'll find ways to be creative to make that money as well. Okay. But do something that means something. Yeah. But lastly, seek professional help if you have to. I got 2 seconds left. I'm going to give myself 1 minute to talk on that. Like I said in the beginning of this live, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to know all the answers. And sometimes when you don't know all the answers and you don't have people around you that can help you with that, seeking professional help may be necessary. For me, it is. And so I'm excited about starting therapy. I'm very excited about that. I found a great therapist that I think is going to be fantastic for me. But you have to be okay. Hey, Minnie Mouse, she talking to me. You have to be okay with talking to somebody. And the cool thing about having a therapist is they ain't gonna tell your business. You can say all that you want to say, ain't gotta worry about it going nowhere, ain't gotta worry about it being in the street, and they're gonna give you some tools as well. Okay. And if you gotta try out a few different therapists, that's okay too. Yeah, everybody ain't for you. But see what you can do to find someone to help you, create community around you. And always remember too, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to other people, what you think they have, because trust me, on this here app, other than myself and maybe a few other people that I know that just be keeping it 100%, many folk, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. You thinking people's lives are perfect and everything is good, and they literally are wanting to die. Okay. We all mask issues. We mask things. And so it's very important for you to not compare yourself to other people, honey, because trust me, everybody, you could be a billionaire, got a body out of this world, all these types of things, and still be going through. That's the beauty of life. There's always some challenge to overcome. Yeah. So don't compare yourself to other people. Your competition is yourself. Learning to let relationships and people go that don't serve you, loving them, but being okay with letting it go. It's okay, boo-boo. You can love somebody and know that at this particular time, they do not align with where you're going. And that's okay, right? And if it's real and if it's a God-centered thing, it'll come back if that's what it's supposed to be. And if not, you honor the time that you all had together and you let them go with grace. These are the things that I'm telling you. I hope that you all enjoyed this live. Hope that you share it. I'm about a couple of minutes over, so I'm going to get on off here. I got to go pick up my baby from school because it's too cold for her to be riding her bike home. So prioritizing self-care, setting those boundaries, identifying and addressing stressors, and then finding a problem-solving technique to overcome those, reevaluating your priorities. It's okay to quit. Okay, knowing when it's not working for you anymore, clarifying your values, reassessing your goals, focusing on meaningful work, and then above all else, having a spiritual life, right? Whatever that looks like for you, and being okay with seeking professional help. Take care of yourself. Love on everybody. Try your best to enjoy yourself. Laugh, okay? Because I laugh all the time. Laugh, and always remember, baby, there's enough sun in the sky for everyone to shine. Y'all be blessed. I'll be doing more of these. Like I said, at some point I'll get organized and we'll be like on every Tuesday or Thursday or something. But for now, as I feel led to share, I will share with you all. I hope you enjoyed this. Please share this. And if you don't know me, my name is Tony Ringo Steele. You can follow me here on this here platform. I don't know what they do with TikTok, honey. We'll find out. But definitely follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm getting better at it. But you definitely find me here anytime. And I got some announcements coming up tomorrow as well that I'm excited to share with you all. But anywho, always remember there's enough sun in the sky for everyone to shine. Y'all be abundantly blessed. Happy Friday and stay warm. Peace.